Hello, everybody. Today we are talking about June planetary months. Every year there are months which are unsettled, and June is one of those months. There's a lot of planetary activity. Three planets are going to be retrograde. There's a solar eclipse, and end of the month with the Mars Saturn opposition. So we have to learn how to navigate it and how to deal with it. Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton, and we are talking June planetary news. Do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification. And also, I want to remind you about my store, and you can order some nice things and help support this channel. Thank you. So, we are talking June 2021. So, there is the start of June starts with debilitation of Mars, and Mars remains debilitated throughout the month. Then we have three retrogrades already. Mercury and Saturn are retrograde, and on 20th of June, Jupiter joins it and becomes retrograde. It's for a few days only. Three planets will be retrograde because on 23rd, Mercury goes direct. After that, Mercury is in dignity and in a more positive energy mood. But the main thing that is over this month is the eclipse, and the solar eclipse is actually visible around North America, North Canada, Russia, Arctic Circle, around that area. And most of us, we don't experience the eclipse, but that means we don't see the eclipse, but we do experience it because, the energy is very unsettled. And the eclipse is in Taurus. And so if your birthday is around the eclipse day, 10th of June, you can take it a few days either side. That means this year is going to be very transformative for you. The eclipses are telling that. But overall, I feel that all of us have to be careful around the eclipse time because of our emotions. And what I'm finding even just now is that there are very high emotions and people want to do things quickly and, get projects done and start new things and spend a lot of money. And be careful about it, because the eclipse and Rahu is just unnecessarily psyching you up. You want to stay calm and collected. And during this eclipse, Mercury is conjoined with the sun, and of course, sun is always involved, moon is there. And then Mercury and Venus are in Parivartana Yoga. I already made a video about Venus, so watch that. So that is, and alongside the fact that Mars is going to be debilitated. And then almost immediately, few days after the eclipse, Jupiter goes retrograde. So 20th it goes retrograde, but we need to watch 18, 19, 20th because Jupiter will slow down and things are not really happening. And you don't want to travel on the day Jupiter goes retrograde because, retrogrades mess up the situations. After it is retrograded, then everything is fine. And I will make a separate video for this, the Jupiter retrograde. And then the month ends with the Mars-Saturn opposition. Mars is debilitated, but it is also opposite Saturn. So throughout the month, Mars Saturn are opposing and coming closer and closer to exact opposition. And from 23rd of June, Venus also comes into Cancer. So Mars is with Venus and opposing Saturn. Now, Mars-Venus can be very much involved with relationship energy, but Saturn is also aspecting, so we do need to take care. So how does it affect you? Aries, your ascendant ruler is debilitated. So this is a month to take care. Eclipse is in the house of money. So definitely not to spend money and be extra cautious about it. Taurus, you have the eclipse taking place in your ascendant, which is telling me that there are some changes afoot for you. Now, Taurus, you struggle to make change because as a fixed sign, you don't like it. But, be open to it and see how the things happen. Now, at present, Venus is in the second house of money and finances. You are thinking about investment, but as I said, around the eclipse time, it's better not to make investments. Gemini, eclipse is in the 12th house for you. Mercury is involved with the eclipse. So this time just before the eclipse is quite stressful for you. Mercury is also combust with the sun exactly. It's retrograde. So highly complex situation. Even though Venus is in your ascendant and you feel that good aspect, I think be aware of the eclipse and also be very cautious with your expenses. Cancer, moon is involved in the lunar and solar eclipses. So the solar eclipse, moon is involved. It's in the area of money and finances. So be extra aware of it. I mean, there's no point compromising on how you earn the money, and don't try to make a fast buck during this time because there may be something not so settled about it. So take extra care. And for you, Mars debilitation is in the ascendant. So Mars is a very good planet for you. Its debilitation and opposition with Saturn creates some frustration. Things are not totally as you want them to be. So as I was saying, this month is to take slowly and let things happen and avoid pitfalls. Leo, sun is in your 10th house, and normally that's a very good transit. But because of Rahu's presence and the eclipses, and also Mercury is involved with the eclipses, I would say Mercury rules the two houses of money, and sun is your Lagna Lord, and all of them are in a state of flux. So change is there. You don't necessarily want the change, like the change, but there are some changes, and keep an extra careful eye on your finances. Virgo, the Mercury, your ruling planet, is in the 9th house. It is part of the eclipse. It is retrograde. 9th house is house of education and learning. But the eclipse can make you do too many things, learn too many things. And as a Lord of good luck, the Mercury Venus Parivartana Yoga is actually creating a very positive transit astrology yoga. But because everything is involved with the eclipse, nothing is clear. And as I said, this is not the time to make any decision at this time. Now, Jupiter retrograde impacts you regarding home. It impacts you regarding your relationships and partners. So be aware that they are going through some unsettled energy, or they are feeling blocked, so you can be supportive of them. Libra, that Mars-Venus combination that is taking place after 23rd of June is your 1st and 7th house. And so you and your partners definitely on the same page, but both of you are facing an opposition of Saturn after that. So I'll talk more about it, especially in the Venus in Cancer video, but also in the July news. But at this stage, be concerned about it. Secondly, the eclipse is taking place in the 8th house for you. And 8th house is house of change, transformation. And even though Venus is out of this eclipse, it's being pulled back because of its connection with Mercury. Careful goes it is the best, and don't make any sudden and quick decisions. Scorpio, eclipse is in the seventh house of relationships, of partnerships, and your ascendant ruler or moon ruler is debilitated, so you want to take extra care about it. This is not a good month for you right up to 20th of July. Then Mars goes into Leo, it's much better. Now, sometimes people don't find the debilitation so complex, but at this year, Saturn is opposite to your ascendant ruler or moon ruler. So it is not the easiest transit for you. Sagittarius, your ascendant or moon ruler, Jupiter is going to go retrograde on the 20th. So that is the main transit for you to watch. And it is, as it slows down, you may think life is slowing down. Things are not always happening the way you want to. And the eclipse is in the sixth house of competition, opposition, and this can throw up some obstacles in your way. And, handle them, stay out of any dispute, and that would be the best thing. Capricorn, of course, Saturn is transiting the ascendant. It's already retrograde, so you are okay with that. But Mars has gone into your seventh house of relationships. So, this can bring some frustration, some issues with your partners. The eclipse is taking place in your fifth house. The fifth house is creative ideas, higher mind. It's also to do with children. So eclipses can throw up some interesting or unusual thoughts for you, and children can be going through some change, and keep aware of that, and then you can deal with it. Aquarius, Saturn is in your 12th house retrograde. It has been there for some time, so you're used to it. But do take care of your expenses, and then you will be happy. As far as the eclipse is concerned, it's in your fourth house. So you may be considering changing home or doing some travel, because that is what the eclipse is telling, that there's some change where you want to live, what you want to do. Not to make any major decisions during this time. And after the eclipse, you'll find that there's a lot of positive stuff, because Mercury and Venus are in fourth and fifth house and exchanging signs, and then that would be a good. Now, career-wise, because Mars is debilitated, this is no time for progress in career. So just wait for it, and things later on in July, things will be much better. Pisces, your Lagna Lord, Moon Lord is going to turn retrograde on 20th. So that is your big transit to watch. It is in your 12th house of expenses, of giving effort, and not necessarily getting the reward according to the effort you make. But it's okay, think about donation, think about doing something good, and you won't feel the stress of it. I think the main thing is this: around 18, 19, 20th, when Jupiter slows down, then you are aware that you feel slightly blocked. As far as the eclipse is concerned, it is in your third house. So third house is the house of self-effort, and this is the time for restraint. And if you are restrained during the eclipse time, then things will be much better for you. And Mars is your best planet. It is debilitated, so you're not necessarily getting the right advice. So keep aware of it and conscious. That is it for today. Do remember to subscribe. Thank you.